The Power of Silence. Tuning Out to Tune In. Written and published by MSE Boost. Chapter 1. Silence as a Sanctuary. In the cacophony of modern existence, silence has become an increasingly rare commodity. The constant bombardment of noise from traffic, technology, and the demands of daily life can leave us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from our inner selves. However, by actively seeking out and creating quiet spaces, both physically and mentally, we can discover the transformative power of silence as a sanctuary. To begin harnessing the benefits of silence, it's crucial to carve out dedicated spaces for stillness and reflection. This can be as simple as designating a specific room or corner of your home as a quiet zone, free from the distractions of televisions, phones, and other electronic devices. By intentionally creating a physical environment conducive to silence, you signal to your mind and body that it's time to slow down and turn inward. Beyond the physical space, cultivating mental stillness is equally important. The chatter of our thoughts can often be just as loud and disruptive as external noise. Through practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and mindfulness, we can learn to quiet the mind and find a sense of inner tranquility. By regularly engaging in these techniques, we strengthen our ability to access the sanctuary of silence within ourselves, even amidst the chaos of daily life. Within the sanctuary of silence, we create space for self-reflection and introspection. In the absence of external stimuli, we can begin to tune into our own thoughts, emotions, and intuition. This heightened self-awareness allows us to gain clarity on our values, goals, and the changes we wish to make in our lives. By embracing silence as a tool for self-discovery, we embark on a journey of personal growth and transformation. Moreover, the sanctuary of silence offers a respite from the constant demands on our attention and energy. In a world that often values productivity and busyness above all else, taking time to simply be still and present can feel like a revolutionary act. By giving ourselves permission to pause and recharge in silence, we cultivate a deeper sense of self-care and resilience. The benefits of silence extend beyond the individual level as well. By modeling the value of stillness and reflection, we contribute to a culture that prioritizes inner well-being and connection. As we become more comfortable with silence ourselves, we may find that we are better able to hold space for others to do the same, fostering deeper, more authentic relationships built on presence and understanding. Embracing silence as a sanctuary does not mean completely withdrawing from the world or denying the value of sound and connection. Rather, it is about finding a balance and creating intentional moments of quiet amidst the noise. By developing a practice of seeking out silence, we give ourselves the gift of a sacred space to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. As you begin to explore the power of silence as a sanctuary, start small and be patient with yourself. The habit of turning inward and finding stillness may feel unfamiliar at first, but with practice, it will become an invaluable tool for navigating the challenges and joys of life. Trust that by creating space for silence, you are opening yourself up to new depths of self-awareness, creativity, and inner peace. The sanctuary of silence is a gift that is always available to us, no matter where we are or what we are facing. By learning to tune out the noise and distractions of the world, we can tune into the wisdom and clarity that resides within. As we make silence a regular part of our lives, we discover a source of strength, resilience, and connection that will serve us well on our journey toward greater self-understanding and fulfillment. Chapter 2. The Wisdom of Solitude. The idea of seeking solitude may seem counterintuitive. However, the wisdom of spending time alone lies in its ability to foster personal growth, creativity, and self-awareness. By embracing solitude as a valuable tool for introspection and self-discovery, we open ourselves up to a deeper understanding of our own minds and hearts. Solitude provides a unique opportunity to disconnect from the constant stimulation of the external world and turn our attention inward. When we remove ourselves from the distractions of social obligations, technology, and the demands of others, we create space for genuine self-reflection. In the quiet moments of solitude, we can begin to explore our thoughts, emotions, and desires without the influence of outside opinions or expectations. This process of self-exploration is essential for personal growth and development. By taking the time to examine our own beliefs, values, and goals, we gain a clearer sense of who we are and what we want out of life. Solitude allows us to confront our fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs, and to work through them in a safe and supportive environment. Through this process, we develop a stronger sense of self-awareness and self-acceptance. In addition to fostering personal growth, solitude is also a catalyst for creativity. When we step away from the noise and distractions of the world, we give our minds the freedom to wander and explore new ideas. The stillness of solitude creates a fertile ground for inspiration and innovation, allowing us to tap into our own unique creative potential. Many of history's greatest artists, writers, and thinkers have relied on solitude as a source of inspiration and insight. Of course, the idea of spending time alone can be intimidating for those who are used to constant social interaction and stimulation. The key to embracing solitude is to start small and build up gradually. Begin by setting aside a few minutes each day for quiet reflection, whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in stillness. As you become more comfortable with solitude, you can gradually increase the amount of time you spend alone. It's important to remember that solitude is not the same as loneliness or isolation. While loneliness is characterized by feelings of disconnection and emptiness, solitude is a choice to be alone with oneself in a way that is nourishing and empowering. By approaching solitude with intention and self-compassion, we can transform it from a source of fear or discomfort into a valuable tool for personal growth and well-being. Incorporating solitude into a busy lifestyle may require some creativity and flexibility. It may mean waking up a few minutes earlier each day to enjoy a quiet cup of coffee, or taking a solo walk in nature on the weekends. It may involve setting boundaries with others and learning to say no to social invitations when we need time to recharge. The key is to find a balance that works for our individual needs and circumstances. As we cultivate a practice of solitude, we may find that it becomes an essential part of our self-care routine. Just as we prioritize exercise and healthy eating for our physical well-being, solitude can be a powerful tool for our mental and emotional health. By taking the time to connect with ourselves on a deeper level, we become better equipped to navigate the challenges and opportunities of life with clarity, resilience, and grace. The wisdom of solitude lies in its ability to help us reconnect with our own inner wisdom and strength. By embracing solitude as a valuable tool for personal growth and self-discovery, we open ourselves up to a world of possibility and potential. As we learn to find comfort and joy in our own company, we become more self-reliant, self-aware, and self-accepting. We discover that the answers we seek lie not in the opinions or validation of others, but in the quiet stillness of our own hearts and minds. Chapter 3. Quieting the Inner Critic. The voice of the inner critic is a familiar presence in the minds of many, often filling the silence with a barrage of negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. This internal dialogue can be a significant barrier to personal growth, self-acceptance, and inner peace. However, by learning to identify and challenge these negative thought patterns, we can begin to cultivate a more compassionate and supportive inner voice. The first step in quieting the inner critic is to become aware of its presence. Many of us have become so accustomed to the constant stream of self-criticism that we may not even recognize it as a distinct voice. By bringing conscious attention to our thoughts, we can begin to notice the patterns and themes that emerge. This awareness is the foundation for creating change. Once we have identified the voice of the inner critic, we can start to question the validity of its messages. Often, the inner critic speaks in absolutes, using words like always or never to create a sense of hopelessness or inevitability. By challenging these overgeneralizations and looking for evidence to the contrary, we can begin to dismantle the power of the inner critic. Another effective strategy for quieting the inner critic is to practice self-compassion. When we approach ourselves with kindness and understanding, we create a buffer against the harshness of negative self-talk. This means treating ourselves with the same care and concern that we would extend to a good friend, acknowledging our human imperfections and offering ourselves comfort and support in times of struggle. One powerful tool for cultivating self-compassion is the use of positive affirmations. By consciously replacing negative self-talk with uplifting and empowering statements, we can begin to rewire our inner dialogue. This might involve repeating phrases such as, "I am worthy of love and respect," or "I trust in my ability to overcome challenges." Over time, these affirmations can help to create a more positive and supportive inner voice. In addition to challenging negative self-talk and practicing self-compassion, it's important to cultivate a sense of perspective. The inner critic often thrives on exaggeration, magnifying our perceived flaws and minimizing our strengths and accomplishments. By stepping back and viewing ourselves and our experiences with greater objectivity, we can begin to see the bigger picture and develop a more balanced and realistic self-image. This process of perspective taking can be supported by the practice of mindfulness. By bringing our attention to the present moment and observing our thoughts and emotions with curiosity and non-judgment, we create space between ourselves and the voice of the inner critic. This allows us to respond to negative self-talk with greater clarity and intentionality, rather than getting caught up in the spiral of self-criticism. As we work to quiet the inner critic, it's important to be patient and persistent. Changing deeply ingrained thought patterns takes time and practice, and there will likely be moments of setback and self-doubt along the way. However, by committing to the process and treating ourselves with compassion and understanding, we can gradually transform our inner dialogue from one of criticism and judgment to one of support and encouragement. The benefits of quieting the inner critic extend far beyond the realm of personal growth and self-acceptance. When we learn to treat ourselves with kindness and respect, we become better equipped to extend that same compassion to others. We develop greater empathy, emotional intelligence, and the ability to build deeper, more authentic relationships based on mutual understanding and support. Moreover, by freeing ourselves from the constant drain of negative self-talk, we open up space for greater creativity, productivity, and fulfillment. When we're no longer weighed down by self-doubt and self-criticism, we can approach our goals and aspirations with renewed energy and enthusiasm. We become more willing to take risks, try new things, and pursue our passions with confidence and conviction. The journey of quieting the inner critic is a deeply personal and transformative one, requiring patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to self-discovery. By learning to identify and challenge negative self-talk, cultivating self-compassion and perspective, and practicing mindfulness and affirmation, we can begin to replace the voice of the inner critic with one of wisdom, support, and encouragement. In doing so, we open ourselves up to a greater sense of inner peace, self-acceptance, and the freedom to live our lives with authenticity and purpose. Chapter 4. Mindfulness in Silence. The practice of mindfulness, or the act of bringing one's attention to the present moment without judgment, has gained significant recognition in recent years for its ability to reduce stress, improve emotional well-being, and cultivate a greater sense of inner peace. When combined with the power of silence, mindfulness becomes an even more potent tool for self-discovery and personal transformation. At its core, mindfulness is about developing a heightened awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. By learning to observe these experiences with curiosity and acceptance, we can begin to disentangle ourselves from patterns of reactivity and stress. In the context of silence, mindfulness allows us to turn our attention inward, creating a space for deep introspection and self-reflection. One of the most accessible ways to cultivate mindfulness in silence is through the practice of meditation. By setting aside dedicated time each day to sit in stillness and focus on the breath, we train our minds to be more present and attentive. This practice can be as simple as finding a quiet space, closing your eyes, and observing the sensation of the breath moving in and out of the body. As you begin to explore mindfulness meditation, it's important to approach the practice with patience and self-compassion. The mind is often compared to a wild monkey, jumping from thought to thought with restless energy. The goal of meditation is not to eliminate these thoughts altogether, but rather to develop a more neutral and accepting relationship with them. When thoughts arise during meditation, simply notice them without getting caught up in their content. Imagine them as passing clouds in the sky, acknowledging their presence, but allowing them to drift away on their own. With practice, you may find that the gaps between thoughts begin to widen, creating a sense of spaciousness and clarity in the mind. In addition to formal meditation practice, mindfulness can be incorporated into daily life through the cultivation of present moment awareness. This means bringing a sense of intentionality and focus to even the most mundane activities, such as washing dishes, walking to work, or eating a meal. By fully engaging our senses and attention in these moments, we can begin to experience life with greater richness and depth. One powerful mindfulness practice that can be done in silence is the body scan. This involves lying down or sitting comfortably and systematically bringing attention to each part of the body, from the toes to the top of the head. As you focus on each area, notice any physical sensations that arise, such as tension, tingling, or warmth. The goal is not to change or judge these sensations, but simply to observe them with a spirit of curiosity and acceptance. Through regular practice of mindfulness and silence, we begin to develop a greater sense of inner stillness and equanimity. We learn to relate to our thoughts and emotions with greater objectivity, recognizing them as temporary experiences rather than defining aspects of our identity. This shift in perspective can be deeply liberating, freeing us from the tyranny of our own mental chatter and allowing us to respond to life's challenges with greater clarity and resilience. Moreover, the practice of mindfulness and silence can help to cultivate a deeper sense of connection and compassion, both for ourselves and others. By learning to approach our own inner world with kindness and understanding, we naturally extend that same spirit of openness and acceptance to those around us. We become more attuned to the needs and experiences of others, and more skilled at navigating the complexities of human relationships. It's worth noting that the practice of mindfulness is not always easy, and it's common to experience moments of frustration, restlessness, or doubt along the way. However, by committing to the practice with a spirit of curiosity and self-compassion, we gradually train our minds to be more present, focused, and at ease. Over time, the benefits of mindfulness in silence begin to permeate all aspects of our lives, from our relationships and work to our overall sense of well-being and purpose. The beauty of mindfulness in silence is that it requires no special equipment or training, only a willingness to show up and be present with ourselves. By carving out even a few minutes each day for this practice, we create a sacred space for self-discovery and transformation. We learn to embrace the fullness of our human experience, with all its joys and sorrows, challenges and opportunities. And in doing so, we open ourselves up to a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and connection, both within ourselves and with the world around us. Chapter 5. Intuition's Whisper. In the stillness of silence, a powerful inner voice emerges, the voice of intuition. This inherent wisdom resides within each of us, offering guidance and insight that extends beyond the realm of conscious thought. By learning to attune ourselves to the subtle whispers of intuition, we tap into a deep well of personal truth and understanding. Intuition is often described as a gut feeling, a sixth sense, or a knowing that arises from within. It is a form of intelligence that bypasses the logical mind, drawing on the subconscious accumulation of our life experiences, observations, and innate wisdom. When we learn to trust and follow our intuition, we open ourselves up to a more authentic and fulfilling way of living. However, in a world that often prioritizes rational thought and external validation, the voice of intuition can be easily drowned out. We may dismiss our gut feelings as irrational or unfounded, choosing instead to defer to the opinions and expectations of others. Over time, this disconnection from our inner wisdom can lead to a sense of confusion, dissatisfaction, and misalignment. Cultivating a strong connection to intuition begins with creating space for silence and introspection. In the quiet of our own minds, we can begin to notice the subtle sensations and prompts that arise from within. This may take the form of a sudden insight, a physical sensation in the body, or a persistent thought or feeling that won't let go. To strengthen our intuitive capabilities, it is helpful to develop a regular practice of mindfulness and self-reflection. This can involve setting aside time each day for meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in stillness and observing our inner world. By bringing a sense of curiosity and openness to these practices, we create a foundation of self-awareness that allows intuition to flourish. Another key aspect of developing intuition is learning to distinguish between the voice of fear and the voice of wisdom. Fear often masquerades as intuition, triggering feelings of anxiety, doubt, or hesitation that can hold us back from taking action or making changes. True intuition, on the other hand, is characterized by a sense of calm, clarity, and rightness, even in the face of uncertainty or challenge. One way to differentiate between fear and intuition is to check in with the body. Fear tends to manifest as physical tension, constriction, or unease, while intuition often feels expansive, open, and grounded. By tuning into these physical cues, we can begin to discern the true nature of our inner promptings and respond accordingly. It is also important to recognize that intuition is not infallible, and that it works best in conjunction with rational thought and discernment. While intuition can provide valuable insights and direction, it is not a substitute for critical thinking or due diligence. The most effective decision-making often involves a balance of intuitive wisdom and logical analysis. As we learn to trust and follow our intuition, we may encounter resistance or skepticism from others who are more accustomed to rational, evidence-based thinking. It is important to remember that intuition is a highly personal and subjective experience, and that what feels true for one person may not resonate with another. By staying grounded in our own sense of inner knowing, we can navigate these challenges with confidence and integrity. Ultimately, the cultivation of intuition is a lifelong journey of self-discovery and trust. It requires a willingness to step into the unknown, to take risks, and to follow the promptings of our own inner wisdom, even when they lead us in unexpected directions. By learning to attune ourselves to the whispers of intuition, we open ourselves up to a more authentic, fulfilling, and purpose-driven life. The rewards of a strong intuitive capacity are many. It can guide us in our relationships, our career choices, and our creative pursuits. It can help us to navigate challenges and obstacles with grace and resilience. And it can connect us more deeply to our own inner truth, allowing us to live in greater alignment with our values and purpose. As we learn to embrace the power of intuition, it is essential to approach the process with patience, curiosity, and self-compassion. Like any skill, intuition requires practice and refinement. There will be times when we misinterpret our inner guidance, or when we allow fear to overshadow our wisdom. In these moments, it is important to extend ourselves kindness and understanding, recognizing that growth and learning are a natural part of the journey. By consistently choosing to honor and trust our intuition, we send a powerful message to ourselves and the world around us. We affirm our own inner wisdom and authority, and we inspire others to do the same. We contribute to a culture that values self-awareness, authenticity, and personal truth, qualities that are essential for creating a more compassionate and enlightened world. The whisper of intuition is a gift that is available to each and every one of us. By learning to attune ourselves to its guidance, we open ourselves up to a more expansive and enriching way of being. We discover the power and potential that lies within us, and we step more fully into our own unique path and purpose. In the silence of our own minds, we find the wisdom and clarity we need to navigate life's challenges and opportunities with grace, resilience, and authenticity. Chapter 6. The Silent Language of Nature. we often overlook one of the most powerful sources of wisdom and guidance available to us, the natural world. Nature, in all its beauty and diversity, holds a silent language that speaks directly to the soul, offering profound lessons and insights for those who are willing to listen. From the gentle rustling of leaves in the wind to the majestic stillness of a mountain peak, nature invites us to step out of the chaos of our daily lives and into a space of quiet contemplation. In the presence of the natural world, we are reminded of the inherent interconnectedness of all things and of our own place within the larger web of life. One of the most transformative aspects of connecting with nature is the way it can help us to cultivate a sense of presence and mindfulness. When we immerse ourselves in the beauty of a forest, a beach, or a garden, our senses are awakened and our attention is drawn to the present moment. We become more attuned to the subtle details of our surroundings, the colors, textures, and sounds that we might normally overlook in the busyness of our daily lives. This heightened awareness not only enhances our appreciation for the natural world, but also helps to quiet the mind and bring us into a state of inner stillness. As we focus our attention on the beauty and simplicity of nature, the chatter of our thoughts begins to subside, and we are able to access a deeper level of peace and clarity within ourselves. Nature also teaches us valuable lessons about the cyclical nature of life and the importance of embracing change. From the changing of the seasons to the ebb and flow of the tides, the natural world is in a constant state of transformation. By observing these cycles and rhythms, we are reminded that change is an inevitable and necessary part of growth and renewal. This understanding can be particularly helpful during times of transition or uncertainty in our own lives. When we feel overwhelmed by the challenges we face, spending time in nature can help to provide a sense of perspective and grounding. We are reminded that, like the natural world, we too have the capacity to adapt, evolve, and thrive in the face of change. Another powerful lesson that nature offers is the importance of simplicity and letting go. In the natural world, there is a sense of effortless ease and flow that arises from a deep trust in the inherent wisdom of life. Trees do not struggle to grow. Rivers do not resist the pull of gravity. There is a sense of surrender and acceptance that permeates all of nature, and that we can learn to embody in our own lives. By simplifying our lives and letting go of the things that no longer serve us, we create space for new growth and possibilities to emerge. We learn to trust in the inherent wisdom of our own inner nature and to allow life to unfold in its own perfect way. Of course, cultivating a deep connection with nature requires more than simply spending time outdoors. It involves a willingness to slow down, to be present, and to approach the natural world with a sense of reverence and respect. One powerful way to deepen this connection is through the practice of mindful nature-based meditation. Find a quiet spot in nature where you feel comfortable and safe. This could be a park, a beach, a forest, or even your own backyard. Allow yourself to settle into a comfortable seated position, either on the ground or on a bench. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your body to relax and your mind to become still. Begin to bring your attention to the sounds of nature around you, the birdsong, the rustling of leaves, the lapping of waves. Notice the different qualities of each sound, and allow yourself to become fully immersed in the auditory landscape. As you listen, see if you can sense the underlying silence that permeates all of nature, the vast, open space within which all sounds arise and fall away. Next, bring your attention to the physical sensations of your body in contact with the earth. Notice the weight of your body, the texture of the ground beneath you, the temperature of the air on your skin. Allow yourself to feel grounded and supported by the earth, and to sense the deep interconnectedness between your own being and the larger web of life. Finally, allow your awareness to expand outward to encompass the entire natural landscape around you. Sense the beauty and aliveness that surrounds you, and feel your own place within it. Allow yourself to rest in this space of quiet connection, drinking in the peace and wisdom of the natural world. Through practices like mindful nature meditation, we can begin to cultivate a deeper sense of intimacy and connection with the world around us. We begin to see ourselves not as separate from nature, but as an integral part of it, woven into the same tapestry of life that includes the trees, the birds, and the earth itself. As we learn to listen to the silent language of nature, we open ourselves up to a profound source of guidance, healing, and transformation. We discover that the wisdom we seek is not somewhere out there, but is already present within us, waiting to be awakened through our connection with the natural world. The beauty of nature is that it is always available to us, no matter where we are or what challenges we may be facing. Whether we are able to spend time in wild, untouched landscapes, or simply take a few moments to connect with the earth in our own backyard, nature is a constant companion on our journey of self-discovery and growth. By making a conscious effort to cultivate a deeper relationship with the natural world, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also contribute to the healing and restoration of the planet as a whole. We recognize that our own health and happiness are intimately connected to the health and well-being of the earth, and we become more committed to living in harmony with the rhythms and cycles of nature. The silent language of nature is a powerful teacher, offering us endless opportunities for growth, healing, and transformation. By learning to listen to its wisdom and to embody its lessons in our own lives, we open ourselves up to a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and connection both within ourselves and with the larger web of life. May we all learn to hear the whispers of the earth and to honor the sacred wisdom that resides within each of us and within the natural world. Chapter 7. Silence and Creativity. Silence, often overlooked in the pursuit of productivity and success, holds within it a profound potential for unleashing our creative abilities. When we allow ourselves to be immersed in stillness, free from the constant barrage of external stimuli, we create a space for our minds to wander, explore, and give birth to new ideas. The creative process is a delicate dance between the conscious and unconscious mind. It requires a certain level of mental space and freedom for ideas to arise, take shape, and evolve. In the midst of our fast-paced, noise-filled lives, it can be challenging to find this space. We are constantly bombarded with information, demands, and distractions that pull our attention in countless directions, leaving little room for the quiet reflection and introspection that are so essential to the creative process. This is where the power of silence comes in. By intentionally carving out periods of quiet solitude, we give our minds the opportunity to rest, recharge, and tap into the deep well of creativity that resides within each of us. In the absence of external noise and stimulation, our thoughts are free to meander, making unexpected connections and associations that can lead to breakthrough ideas and insights. The relationship between silence and creativity is beautifully illustrated by the lives and work of many great artists, writers, and innovators throughout history. From Virginia Woolf, who famously insisted on a room of her own for writing, to Steve Jobs, who often retreated to quiet spaces for reflection and inspiration. There are countless examples of creative individuals who have harnessed the power of silence to fuel their work. But the benefits of silence for creativity are not limited to those in traditionally creative fields. Whether we are working on a business plan, solving a complex problem, or simply seeking fresh perspectives and ideas, the practice of intentional silence can be a powerful tool for unlocking our creative potential. So, how can we begin to cultivate more silence in our lives in service of our creativity? Here are a few practical strategies. Create a dedicated space for quiet reflection. This could be a corner of your home, a local park, or any other place where you feel comfortable and free from distractions. Make a habit of spending regular time in this space, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Establish boundaries around your time and attention. Let others know when you need uninterrupted quiet time to focus on creative work, and be firm in protecting this time from outside demands and interruptions. Practice mindfulness and meditation. These practices can help to quiet the mind, reduce stress and anxiety, and create a sense of inner spaciousness that is conducive to creative thinking. Engage in activities that promote a state of flow. This could be anything from painting and writing to gardening and cooking, any activity that allows you to become fully absorbed and present in the moment, without the constant chatter of the mind. Embrace boredom. In our overstimulated world, we often feel the need to fill every moment with activity and distraction. But boredom can actually be a powerful catalyst for creativity. When we allow ourselves to sit with the discomfort of boredom, without immediately reaching for our phones or other distractions, we create space for new ideas and insights to emerge. Experiment with different types of silence. Silence can take many forms, from the complete absence of sound to the gentle background hum of nature. Pay attention to the types of silence that feel most nourishing and inspiring to you, and seek them out in your daily life. The practice of cultivating silence for creativity is not always easy, especially in a world that often values busyness and productivity above all else. It can feel counterintuitive to step away from the noise and demands of daily life in order to be more creative and effective. But the truth is, when we give ourselves the gift of silence, we open up a world of possibility and potential that might otherwise remain hidden. As we begin to integrate more silence into our lives, it's important to approach the process with patience and self-compassion. Like any new habit or practice, it may take time to feel comfortable and natural. There may be moments of restlessness, frustration, or doubt along the way. But by staying committed to the practice and trusting in the power of silence to support our creativity, we can begin to experience the profound benefits for ourselves. The beauty of silence is that it is always available to us, no matter where we are or what challenges we may be facing. Whether we are able to retreat to a quiet room for hours of uninterrupted work, or simply take a few deep breaths in the midst of a busy day, the power of silence is always within reach. By making a commitment to cultivating more silence in our lives, we not only enhance our own creativity and well-being, but also contribute to a culture that values introspection, reflection, and the generation of new ideas. We become more attuned to the subtle nuances of our own minds and hearts, and more skilled at bringing forth the unique gifts and perspectives that we each have to offer. Silence, far from being a void or absence, is a rich and fertile ground from which our most original and inspired ideas can spring forth. May we all learn to honor and embrace the power of silence in our lives, trusting in its ability to guide us toward greater creativity, clarity, and purpose. As we learn to be still and listen deeply, we open ourselves up to a world of endless possibility and potential, both within ourselves and in the world around us. Chapter 8. The Silent Power of Listening. The art of listening is often undervalued and overlooked. We are conditioned to believe that success and connection come from being heard, from expressing our own thoughts and opinions. But the truth is, there is immense power and wisdom in the practice of deep, attentive listening. When we listen with presence and curiosity, we create a space for others to be fully seen and understood. We send a message that their thoughts, feelings, and experiences matter, and that we are here to support and witness them. This kind of listening is a profound act of generosity and empathy, one that has the potential to transform our relationships and deepen our connections with others. The benefits of listening extend far beyond our interpersonal relationships. When we cultivate a practice of listening to the world around us, to the subtle messages of our own bodies, to the wisdom of nature, to the insights and experiences of those who are different from us, we open ourselves up to a vast source of knowledge and understanding. We become more attuned to the complexities and nuances of the world, and more equipped to navigate its challenges with grace and skill. Practicing deep listening requires a willingness to set aside our own agendas and assumptions, to be fully present and open to what is being shared. It means resisting the urge to interrupt, to offer advice or solutions, or to steer the conversation in a particular direction. Instead, we simply hold space for the other person to express themselves fully, without judgment or expectation. This kind of listening is not always easy, especially in a culture that values quick fixes and instant gratification. It can be tempting to rush in with our own opinions and ideas, to try to solve problems or offer reassurance. But the truth is, sometimes the greatest gift we can give another person is simply our attentive, non-judgmental presence. There are many practical ways to cultivate a practice of deep listening in our daily lives. One powerful tool is the use of reflective or active listening, where we paraphrase and reflect back what the other person has said, to ensure that we have fully understood their message. This kind of listening sends a signal that we are truly engaged and invested in the conversation, and helps to build trust and rapport. Another key aspect of effective listening is the use of nonverbal communication. Our body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can all convey a sense of presence and attentiveness, even when we are not speaking. By maintaining eye contact, nodding, and using other nonverbal cues, we signal to the other person that we are fully present and engaged in the conversation. Listening is also a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time. Like any muscle, it requires regular practice and attention to grow and improve. We can cultivate a habit of listening by setting aside dedicated time each day to practice, whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply engaging in more mindful and attentive conversations with others. As we deepen our practice of listening, we may begin to notice subtle shifts in our relationships and interactions with others. We may find that people are more likely to open up and share with us, sensing our genuine interest and care. We may also find that we are better able to navigate difficult conversations and conflicts by truly hearing and understanding the perspectives of others. The power of listening extends beyond our personal relationships and into the larger social and political sphere. In a world that is often divided by differences of opinion and belief, the practice of deep listening is more important than ever. By truly hearing and seeking to understand those who are different from us, we build bridges of empathy and connection, and create the conditions for meaningful dialogue and change. The practice of listening is a profound act of love and respect for ourselves, for others, and for the world around us. It requires a willingness to be humble, to set aside our own egos and agendas, and to create space for the wisdom and insights of others to emerge. By cultivating this skill in our daily lives, we open ourselves up to a deeper sense of connection, understanding, and possibility. The silent power of listening is a gift that we can offer to ourselves and to the world in each moment and interaction. May we all learn to listen with presence, curiosity, and an open heart, trusting in the transformative potential of this simple yet profound act. As we learn to listen deeply, we discover a source of wisdom and understanding that has the power to heal, to connect, and to transform our lives and our world. Chapter 9. Integrating Silence into Daily Life. Throughout the pages of this book, we have explored the many facets and benefits of silence, from its ability to calm the mind and soothe the soul, to its power to enhance creativity, deepen self-awareness, and foster more meaningful connections with others. But for many of us, the challenge lies not in understanding the value of silence, but in finding practical ways to integrate it into our busy, noise-filled lives. The truth is, cultivating a practice of silence doesn't have to involve major life changes or lengthy retreats. While extended periods of solitude and stillness can certainly be transformative, even small doses of silence, woven into the fabric of our daily routines, can have a profound impact on our well-being and quality of life. The key is to approach the practice of silence with intentionality and consistency. Rather than waiting for the perfect moment or circumstances to arise, we must actively seek out and create opportunities for stillness and reflection in our daily lives. This might mean setting aside a few minutes each morning for quiet meditation or journaling, taking a silent walk in nature during our lunch break, or turning off all devices and distractions for an hour each evening to simply be present with ourselves and our surroundings. One powerful way to begin integrating silence into daily life is to establish a regular ritual or practice that becomes a non-negotiable part of our routine. This could be as simple as starting each day with 5 minutes of deep breathing and quiet reflection, or ending each evening with a few moments of gratitude and stillness before bed. By anchoring our practice of silence to a consistent time and place, we create a sense of structure and support that helps to sustain our commitment over time. Another key strategy is to look for opportunities to infuse small doses of silence into the ordinary moments and activities of our day. This might mean choosing to drive to work in silence, rather than listening to the radio or podcasts. It could mean eating our meals in mindful silence, savoring each bite and sensation without the distraction of screens or conversation. Or it might mean taking a few conscious breaths and moments of stillness between tasks and appointments, allowing ourselves to rest and reset before moving on to the next thing. As we begin to incorporate more silence into our daily lives, it's important to approach the process with patience and self-compassion. Like any new habit or practice, there will likely be moments of resistance, distraction, and forgetting. Rather than getting discouraged or giving up, we can simply notice these moments with kindness and curiosity, and gently redirect our attention back to the present moment and our intention to cultivate silence. It can also be helpful to enlist the support and accountability of others in our practice of silence. This might mean joining a meditation or mindfulness group, finding a silence buddy to check in with regularly, or simply sharing our intentions and experiences with trusted friends and loved ones. By building a sense of community and connection around our practice, we create a web of support and encouragement that can help to sustain us over time. The practice of integrating silence into daily life is about creating a new relationship with stillness and presence in our lives. It's about learning to value and prioritize the quiet moments, not as a luxury or escape, but as an essential nutrient for our well-being and growth. And it's about trusting that even the smallest acts of silence and mindfulness can ripple out to create profound changes in ourselves and the world around us. As we make silence a regular part of our daily routines, we may begin to notice subtle shifts in our energy, perspective, and overall quality of life. We may find that we are more resilient in the face of stress and challenges, more connected to our own inner wisdom and intuition, and more able to show up fully and authentically in our relationships and interactions with others. The beauty of integrating silence into daily life is that it is a practice that meets us where we are, in the midst of our ordinary, busy, imperfect lives. We don't need to wait for the perfect conditions or circumstances to begin. We simply need to start where we are, with what we have, and trust in the transformative power of stillness and presence to guide us forward. May we all find our own unique path to integrating silence into our daily lives, and may we trust in the wisdom and resilience of our own hearts to lead the way. As we learn to embrace the quiet moments and spaces in our lives, we open ourselves up to a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and connection both within ourselves and with the world around us. So let us begin, today and every day, to carve out space for silence and stillness in our lives. Let us approach this practice with curiosity, compassion, and an open heart, knowing that even the smallest acts of mindfulness and presence can create ripples of change and transformation that extend far beyond ourselves. And let us trust in the power of silence to guide us home, to the deepest truth and wisdom of our own being.